shards of a larger crystal ball, drifting away on it all, just squares and circles. Thoughts and dreams, feelings that I need here.
Sitting by the waterfall, flying with the clouds, crystals dancing in the sun. Colors are falling in my eyes. Time don't exist anymore. Only pictures of light and pictures of darkness. Free like never before. Like a river in the rain. Oh, Father of the four winds, take away my attentions. I did not betray you. I did not forsake you. The universe on a string. drifting in all directions. Free until the key finds the door. Free like never before. Children of light.
Hello, welcome, and let's see who's with us this afternoon before I introduce myself. So we have Cookie B, we have Jan, we have Willow, Barbara, Jason, Becky, Catherine, Catmom, Rosalind, Mas54, Donna, Carol, Zyra, NET, Safari Lover, and yes, we have about 25 people. Thank you for joining. So my name is Khaya, my name is Tlou, who's on FC with us today is Bavu and VM. They were dealing with some technical issues, and we have Tulani Ngonyama on camera. And yeah, welcome to my beautiful show, the last show of 2021. I can't imagine that the time flies. Hey, time really, really flies. This is episode number 12. And so, we're coming to you live from the Greater Kruger National Park, the southern part of Baluli Nature Reserve, in this beautiful reserve called Pride Lands Conservancy in Hoedspruit. So yes, if you're the show, my show is all about the live cameras and the live camera archives or live camera clips that have been saved before we get to talk about them. So those cameras are just here in Pride Lands, and some they are in our neighboring reserve on the eastern part of this reserve, which is called Khaya, and also in Cape Town, the Penguin Camp. So what we're going to do now, we'll start with the live cameras, because our multi-view is not working in the meantime. So we'll start with each and every camera that is live and see what we can find there and what we can see there. Maybe we might be seeing an animal there. And thank you so much for waiting, for your patience. Today is very, very, very hot, and you can see the lights are on. Outside is about 32 degrees Celsius. That's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And in here, it feels like 40 degrees Celsius today. So what we're gonna do, we'll start with our live cameras, and we get to see what they will have for us. Bavu, hit me with a live camera, brother. Yes, my favorite camera, just outside the studio, just 2-3 meters from here. I'm 34 meters, yes. Okay, say that 4, 5, 6 meters. Yes, not far from that. There's nothing you can see. It's happening live. You can see it's 6 minutes just after 5 p.m. This is a top view of Critter Camp. So one of my favorite, because you get to see all these little creatures around here that we miss most of the time when we are on drive. You know, when we're driving or walking, what we do is we miss some of the stuff, and we sometimes disturb animals that they are so small. But this one, it definitely exposes what they are up to. So that's one of my favorite camera. Thank you, Rosalind, saying hi, Bavu and Tulani. Let's get to see Khaya. Yes, Khaya is our neighboring reserve on the eastern part of the reserve. Beautiful reserve, of course. So this is loved by all sorts of beautiful animals, especially the elephants. You can see there's nothing happening, just a little bit of wind. You can see the grass and the trees moving. And this is Cape Town. It looks different now. Someone moved it a little bit. So I can see the plant that's been removed a bit, or I think it's been taken back a little bit, this camera. Or someone was doing a garden. And we used to see African penguins here, but today there's nothing, as you can see. So let's get to see the hyena den. Yes, hyena den is active. Yes, hyena den is active. Hyena den is active. So who's that? So this hyena den is just on the southern part of where I am right now. It's beautiful, beautiful, busy den. And you can see there's that's a fully grown hyena, and we have 8 cubs around there and in the den. And this particular clan is called Pride Land, clan of hyenas. Sapphire lover, we really appreciate that. You know, where everything VM touches, it turns into magic. So definitely most of all the technical stuff is VM. And then we get to help. Bavu gets to help, Matt gets to help, Khaya gets to help, Brent gets to help, Charles gets to help, Brian gets to help. Everyone is helping, but whatever he touches, it turns into gold. Definitely. Thank you so much, VM. And that hyena den is quite in the meantime, because there was some commotion a few months ago. And there are a few hyenas that we don't see them coming, but I strongly believe that they still come, or they do come around the den site, but away from the camera eye, because what happens is they still have cubs left in there, and I strongly believe that they do come and feed their cubs, because they really need to suckle. And those cubs are still a little bit young, but not that young. They're about a year old now, but they strongly rely on their mom's milk, because hyenas, they can suckle up to 18 to 24 months, so they really need that. And so those 2 hyenas, mostly they are away from the den site in the meantime. They don't really showing themselves to the camera. They tried to cause this commotion, and then they wanted to take over, because they were low-ranking females. So we believe that the one that was high-ranking, which is Robin by the name, left for a couple of weeks, and then we thought her cubs were both killed, because she had 2 cubs, but only to find out she came back, and then she came back with her 1 cub, a little bit grown, and then she looks relaxed around the den side, and then that told me that maybe she's still on top. So Bavu, let's go to the hyena den again and see what's happening there. Maybe we might see Melo Mama coming. So this is happening live. This is happening live. You can watch this on the YouTube any time of the day. It's on 24/7, unless there's some technical issue, or maybe there's some lightnings or some but these cameras, they are live 24/7. Thanks, Miss Parker. Yes, let's see what the hyenas were up to this past week, and get to see what they were up to. And Bav will be playing that. On screen, beautiful. You can see just by looking at things here. Then we have 2 adult hyenas, and then we have this one lying on the ground there. It's the one I was talking about, which is Robin by name, and you can see her cub is still a little bit younger, because it still have this black color, and then she is the one with the youngest cub around this den side, so it's easy to identify her without even looking at the spot pattern. But that will change soon, because that cup will form all these spotty patterns, and then we'll definitely have to master them, and then we identify that particular cup, unless if it's a female. So if it's a female, it will stay a bit longer, and sometimes they spend their whole life with their natal clan. And then the males will be around, but what they do is when they get to be a little bit older, especially when they're about 4 years old, they decide to leave, because that's when they start to be fully sexually matured, and then that's when they have to start mating, and then they don't have any rights to mate in their natal clan, because the females, they just want to mate with a different or male from a clan. Beautiful. They're so cute, Jason. Definitely cute. But it wasn't so nice seeing one being killed in front of a camera a few months ago. But yeah, definitely, hyenas are my favorite animals. I love all animals, but hyenas are one of my toughest favorite animals. So, Bavu, before we proceed, brother, let's check the hyena den for a last time, and we'll check it again at the later stage during the show. Yes, beautiful. And you can see the light is not so great now, because the camera is pointing at the hyena, and that angle goes straight to the western part of the reserve, so the sun sets that side, and so sometimes when the sun is a bit up, you can see there's this whitey blurry look on the screen, but when the sun goes down, IR picks up, and you can see all the movements at night. You can see all of this behavior happening there. And this is the reason why we have these live cameras, because we want to see all these behavior of these animals, especially these hyenas, because there's some behaviors we don't see, because at night we are back in our camp, and then we don't know what they are up to, and then definitely they get to show us everything that we sometimes don't know about them. And especially all this commotion happened just right in front of the camera, so we're able to identify who was attacked and killed, who was brutalized, and this and that. So it's so great to have these cameras. Willow, the oldest cub, Melomams, were born in May 2021. Beautiful. So they'll be turning a year next year, so they're approaching there. So that simply means they still need some mom's attention, but because there's this commotion that's still happening, because what happened a few days ago, I was at the den, and then there was Robin, the one who is believed to be a matriarch. So her cub was suckling, she was lying on the ground, and then Melomam came from the back of the den side, and then Robin stood up, and then she joined Melomam, and then both of them, the tails were up. Then one of the hyena's mouth was open, the other one was closed, and then they walked just next to each other with that proud walk, swagger walk. So you can see that they're up to something, but we couldn't follow them because it was so thick. And following hyenas is not as easy, especially when they're up to something. They're just like wild dogs. So what's happening is these two female hyenas who are low ranking, who caused all the commotion, so they haven't been seen around there. So I think they are trying by all means to locate them, and maybe to cause damage, or to have like revenge, if I can put it that way. Because what's happening is a low-ranking female has to get all the discipline if she wants to start something like a commotion from a high-ranking female. So a dominant female has to put all the rules and all actually, he has to put all the rules in a clan, if I can put it that way. Yes, for sure. So what happens is, if there's a hyena that is less dominant, and then wants to take over, it definitely, the female, the high ranking has to intervene. But what happens is, oh, Beautiful. Well, I'll finish up with that. Okay, these are old clips. So what's happening is Robin, who's believed to be the high-ranking female in this clan, she left with her young cub because one cub was killed. So I think she noticed that that's her weakness. So for her to take away her cub, it's easier to raise that cub in a safer area. And then when she comes back, the cub will be a little bit old, and then it can like understand what's happening. So that's why now Half-Tail and Smile End, they are nowhere to be found. But definitely, I strongly believe that they do come. Yo, I'm sweating. It's really, really, really hot in here. Yeah, but I'll be good because I have my water is already finished. Catherine, the temperature today is 32 degrees Celsius and it's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. But inside here in the studio, it feels like 42 degrees Celsius because we don't have air conditioners, but we have some nice ventilation gaps on top there. But I strongly believe it won't get worse than that because the sun is slowly going down and I can see the clouds outside start to form a little bit. And yes, the hyena saga still continues, so we don't know what's going to happen if Half-Tail and Smile End, those are low-ranking females, if they come in and then they get to find Melomam and Robin. Because the way I'm looking at things around the hyena den, I think Melomam, who's teaming with Robin, I think she's more dominant than the two, the ones that are not been seen for quite some time now. So that's why they team up and they try to protect the den as much as possible. So Tlou just went to fetch something for me to wipe my face, like a face cloth. So Bavu, let's see other live cameras, brother. Let's go to maybe Kwenga Dam or Ntomu Dam. You're definitely Rosalind and Jason. It's very, 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 very hot. You can say, yes, this is Kwenga Waterhole. There's nothing yet. So I still can't believe when I read the date there, it's like 30th of December. And in less than 48 hours, it will be New Year. And how big is the den? Rosalind, the den is huge, eh? How can I say? Because what we see outside there, it's probably 2 or 3 times bigger underground there. Because they utilize these termite mounds. Because remember, when you see a termite mound, like this castle outside, definitely it is believed that what you see outside, which is a termite mound castle, it can't be like 3, 4, 5 times underground. So definitely it's a very, very, very big den site, and then it really protects these youngsters because we had huge rains the past few weeks, and we had also about 50 millimeters of water, but they were not bothered at all. They were nice and safe and dry in there, and that simply means that it's really, really, really safe in there, and it's really big. But I can say it's like maybe 1.5 meters high. And then on the sides, I think it can be like 5, 6 meters, if I'm not mistaken. That's a rough estimation. So let's go to Elicam 1 and 2, because 3 is still under construction after that accident of the elephant took it down. So this Pride Lens HQ Elicam 2. There's only Elicam 2 works, who's working. I think the other one lost a little bit of signal. But we have these magical hands of VM. Definitely he'll solve that in no heartbreaking time. So you can see this one is just right next to our camp here. When we are outside the veranda, then we can see from this angle, and we get to see all sorts of beautiful animals like buffaloes, elephants, lions. You see all sorts of things, but we've struggled to see a lion from a leopard from that distance. But that camera definitely grabs all the activities of these leopards that walks around there. Hey Judith. Hello. You're welcome, Rosalind. So what's going to happen now? We're going to play a clip also. And then I don't know what Bavu has for me. I think it's all surprises. Let's get. Oh, pre-recording, my beautiful favorite camera, Creator Cam, my favorite. Let's see what's out here. So you can see the grass is green and very wet. So the 24th we had some rain. Whoa! Look at this, a creepy crawly. Whoa! I thought it was a creepy crawly, but these guys and gals who are always up to something, sniffing around. These are called the banded mongoose. You can see the one standing up and trying to get some aerial view, because you can see they're a bit short when they're on their 4 legs. So they need to stand like us, and then they get to see from a distance. You can see the grass is tall on them. Look at that, giving itself some scratch. So we don't see these particular mongoose often, because they prefer a certain area. You can find them in an open area, but what they do is there will be an open area, but not far from that they must be having some bushes or dry bushes. What happens is they like going there, because when you don't feel a little bit safe, they utilize that particular spot. So they don't mostly like the diggings. They can live there, but they really like these thick dead bushes, and then they can tuck in there, they can get in there and be safe. So because what they do is, I think this one is this group that I normally see around Impala Plains. So Impala Plains just on the western part of where I am right now, and it's not far, it's about 100 meters to 200 meters east west of where I am right now. And then there's these areas there where there's these thick dead branches and trees, and then they like that area. I sometimes see them in an open area, then it's something disturbs them, they definitely bolt into that area. Beautiful, the banded mongooses. You know, the group of mongooses is called a business of mongoose, because they are always up to something. And then do not underestimate the size of those boys and girls, because they are vicious carnivores, and what they do is they can take down snake that I get to be scared of sometimes. So they're not bothered by snakes, because they can mop a snake and then they can kill it. But that doesn't really happen that much. So what happens is the snake, if they see them, they just dash away from them. So yeah, Bavu, what do you have, brother? Do you still have some pre-recorded? Yes. Oh, the buffaloes. I call them the buffies. The buffies. I call them the buffies, but these are the Cape buffaloes. These are the Cape buffaloes. Oh, thank you so much, Tulani. Thank you so much, brother. So you can see these buffaloes are taking a bath, are taking a swim, and they're having some siesta moment. You can see there's a combination of these boys and girls. So you can see the one standing right next to the water there. It's a big boy with these big horns. So what happens is, you know, these buffalo horns are thick, and they're made of this solid bone, and they're fused at the center of the buffalo skull. So that's why they are so strong. You can see there's a little bit there's a few ones that are a bit brown. Then these are youngsters. So buffaloes are born brown, like this one looking at the screen right now, and then they slowly turn black while they grow older and older. You can see their horns are different when they're very young. They're pointing backwards. So that helps them definitely when they suckle, because buffaloes, they move vast distances. So these buffalo calves, definitely they have to suckle, and their mothers are always on the move, and then that allows them to suckle from the back. And these ones you have to listen carefully in the bush. You don't want to bump into this herd. But the herd is much less so, because when they see you on foot, they mostly they try to avoid you, they run away from you. But the Daga boys, which is the bachelor herd, you can be next to them. And if you sit quietly in the bush, stand quietly in the bush, you're not far away from buffaloes. You definitely hear them, and sometimes you can definitely smell them. And you also have to listen to these amazing birds, which are called the yellow-billed or the red-billed oxpeckers. They love these particular animals. So those birds, when you master their calls, and then definitely you know that there might be a buffalo roaming around, or an elephant running around, a rhino roaming around. So this is what they do, especially when they have to walk a little bit or a vast distance, knowing that they are protected. For what happens whenever they find these water holes that is muddy, they will definitely have a stream or have a mud wallow there, so that it protects their skin, because buffaloes are known to lose their fur when they grow older and older. So that mud that's stuck on them, it helps them when it's very hot, and that particular mud, it acts as sunscreen, and it also reduces the number of mosquitoes bothering them. Beautiful buffaloes, Cape buffaloes. We have such a huge groups of buffaloes here around here. I've seen lots and lots and lots of buffaloes, definitely. And most of the time, as we have lions that there's about more than 20 individuals. So most of the time, the buffalo herds are being followed by lions. But our lions, which are called Ngati Pride, they are so different because they like the taste of giraffes compared to the buffaloes. So I've noticed that they've been taking down giraffes more than buffaloes. So sometimes you see this herd not followed by anything. But you know, they are nomadic males, but I haven't seen them for quite some time now. So these nomadic males, what they do is they will be following these particular herds, and then what they do, they know that they have to stay as down as possible. They have to keep their profile as low as possible. So they will be going to these herds, and then they will try by all means to sneak in and try to kill a small buffalo or an injured buffalo or a very old buffalo that is struggling. And then what they do, have to do that as quick as possible, because the owners of the territory, if they can be aware of that, they will definitely kill them. So yeah, where there are buffaloes, mostly and most of the time there are lions following up on that. Bavu, let's do you have a live camera, brother? Let's go for a live camera and see what's happening around. Let's see what's happening around. And I'm also rocking my lucky socks and my lucky shorts. Yes, let's go through them again. Start with the critter cam and get to see. Maybe there will be a bird, or there will be a frog, or maybe a snake. That is critter cam. There's nothing happening here. And that is the top view. Nothing happening. You can see the shadow of that top view camera looking in the water. This is Khaya. Beautiful. There's nothing in Khaya. Oh, so everyone decided to stay away from water holes this afternoon. can see early cam, nothing. Whoa. And then, Bafu, if we don't have any activities here, let's go to our pre-recorded, brother. We get to see what has been recorded. Oh, hyena dance, still sleeping. The hyena still sleeping. Definitely, I don't think they'll be that much active unless there's something bothering them, or if there's an opportunity for them to kill something. Definitely, they'll be as active. But they decide to snooze around this time of the day when it's very hot, and then they'll be preparing for their night walk, because what they do is they definitely prefer the duties in the night. So because what they do, they know that the cats are active if they are not hunting up to scavenging. So what happens, they will be following up on leopards, or they'll be following up on the calls and the scents and the smells of the carcasses, or maybe if there's something being strangled by lions. What they do is they will listen, because they have these huge ears. They will listen for those alarm calls from these or stress calls from buffaloes when strangled by a lion. So they will definitely go rush in there. And then what's so interesting is that you will hear hyenas whooping from different angles. So when they whoop, they try by all means to... Oh, thank you so much, brother, because my picture was frozen. So what happens is they prefer to hunt on their own. So what happens is they go in different direction around their territory. Then they start whooping, and definitely while they're whooping, they're checking up on each other. How are they doing? Are they getting anything? And if they do find a carcass, maybe that's not attended and it's just free, definitely it will eat as much as possible and it will hide that. But if they find that there's a kill in their lines, and then definitely it will call for backup, and then they will all rush there. So that's why hyenas hunt on their own most of the time, because they have to feed as much as possible. But if there's a need for them to have a backup, definitely they do that. I think it froze again. Bavu, let's go to a recorded, brother. Catherine, it's about -5 degrees Celsius. -5 degrees Celsius. Michigan. Whoa, that's very cold. It's very cold. I want to be there around December time, because December time in South Africa, we love our rain, we love our sunshine, we love rocking our shorts, we love rocking our vests and caps and glasses. So I don't think -5 degrees will allow me to rock my shorts. Oh, look what we have right here. A civet, an African civet. It's been a while not seeing this animal. Actually, since I've been here, I'm going to my 4th month now. It's September, October, November, December. I'm going to my 4th month now. Yeah, 4.5, nearly there. So I haven't seen these. Oh. So I haven't seen an animal looking like this, only on these cameras. But there's lots and lots of movements and lots of activities of this particular animal, because we see its tracks all over the camp in the morning, mostly because they are mostly active at night. Then they love snacking on... change my feet, my sock. So they love snacking on millipedes, and definitely they utilize this area. So I think because that one was a female, you can see at the back there. So what happens is they utilize this area as their territory, and what they do, you'll see some medians or latrines that they like defecating. They don't just defecate anyway. These African civets, they don't defecate anywhere. They have a special place where they defecate. Then you'll see all these exoskeletons of millipedes, and you'll see berries in their droppings. You'll see all sorts of things in there, and yeah. But I'm not really sure whether that acts as a territorial marking or territorial marks because they utilize that specific area, or 2 or 3. It depends how big the territory is. And then they'll have multiple latrines. So I'm not sure whether those ones, they act as marking their territory. Bavu. Let's go to the next clip, brother. Hello, Ida. How are you? Yes, this looks. Oh, my cousins. I have my cousins there. This is Kwengantomu Dam, just right on the eastern part, our neighboring reserve. So this happened on the 24th, that's the day before Christmas. So they're taking a bath, taking some time, washing and cleaning themselves, preparing for Christmas. And you can see the ones far right there, they're chatting about what they're going to do for Christmas. And others are still making sure that all the armpits, back of their ears, clean properly. And this is a huge herd. This is a huge breeding herd. So, and I've been going through all these clips, actually these live camera clips. These ones that have been saved, the pre-recorded ones. So almost each and every camera there is an elephant or elephants. So there are hundreds and hundreds of elephants in private. So this group over here is huge, and I strongly believe that away from the camera eye, there's still more of these elephants. You can see there's a baby there, making sure mom is keeping guard of the baby, and making sure that teach them how to swim, or they show them how to swim, and definitely they will be the strongest, perfect swimmers when they grow older and older. So look at that. It's such a beautiful sighting. This is a beautiful sighting. Wow. Beautiful. So they're making sure that every part of the body is wet or is covered in water. And you can see that they are now leaving. So what happens is there is this one very old and matured and smart. So what happens is she's the one that leads the group, and she's the one that knows all the greener pastures. She's the one that knows all the possible places that we will find food, whether it's wet season or summer season, whether it's dry or winter season. She knows every route, and I can say every route in the Kruger Park. That's how elephants are so smart, because they know if they shoot straight east, they'll find this and that and that. When they shoot south, they find this and that. And then they don't just choose any random female elephant that will lead the herd. So it has to be an old female, very well experienced. She knows everything around here. Great water hole, or great water systems, and great feeding grounds. Most definitely. Bavu, let's get to see, brother. What's happening? We're going for live or pre-recorded. So I strongly believe that before we end the show, there will be something flying or walking in to the eyes of the camera. Whoa! Look at that. This guy jumped. So it's a Janet. Spotted Janet. So this animal is so beautiful. You can't really see all the colors from this side, because and it's nighttime, you only see black and white. So if you can see this particular animal during the day, it's something else. Or if you can shine a torch on it at night, you will see this bronzy, brownish, shiny color, and this great black colors there. It's just the combination of that. It's beautiful looking creature. Look at that. It's a large spotted genet. You can see there's a black tip on its tail. A small spotted. There's a white tip on its tail. Christy, happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to you too, and I'm so excited to finish the year with style. We don't know what's going to happen sometime next week, but hopefully something bigger and beautiful are coming this coming year, 2022. I can't wait to see 2022. Oh, I'm counting down already. So Bavu, I want us, before we hit to the next pre-recorded clip, I just want to sneak around these live cameras, because I strongly believe that there must be something there walking. There must be something walking around these cameras. Still again, recruiter cam. Still grasses. There's still grasses. Top view recruiter cam, nothing. Or even an insect flying about, nothing. Let's go to Khaya. Nothing. Look how beautiful Khaya is. Super green, eh? Let's go to Cape Town. Still some bushes. There's some sand. No African penguin. Go to Edicam 2. Still nothing. No, I can't believe this. Oh. Last but not least, a hyena tail. Whoa. You can see hyena tail is a bit busy. And we have, how many there are those? Looks like hubbies there. It looks like the adult is gone, Babu. Is it still there? So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3 cubbies outside. Different age, of course. And all these cubs around here, they definitely confuse me sometimes, because they've grown, eh? Sorry, they've grown, and you can see the bush is thick and green, and it looks way different during winter time. When I arrived here, it was something different, and now it's something different again. And myself and Tulani were just at the bottom there. You can see, but I can't really see how tall the grass is. We're just at the bottom there. We parked there, we're filming. We're just here. Just here. Not like on the side. And then we're facing that direction, the north. And then we're just filming. And Tuan was supposed to stand up a little bit so that he can get the nice view of the hyena that was sleeping just around there. And the grass is like, I think it's about a meter and a half. Wow, there's this long grasses around there. So you have to be vigilant around here. Us have to be open, because even that part there on top of the hyena there, there's some grasses there. There was this one time when I had a drive and I spent some time there, not noticing that there were 2 hyenas sleeping flat there. And I couldn't see them until Tulani penned zoom a camera there, and I think he noticed that, and then I was like, whoa. And some of the viewers said, Kai, I think there was something there. And at first I thought it was just dry grass. And then there was a hyena there, but I couldn't see them from that angle. But at that day, we're on nearly just right at the corner there, looking at that. Beautiful. And sitting there, it's so interesting looking at these hyenas, just not saying anything, just listening to what they're saying. I know they have these small little sounds coming from them, especially when they're trying to push each other, trying to bite each other. And you just look at their behavior, their body language. And this little champion here, you can see there's this little champion here that's busy running around. So that's the youngest cub. And he but I still believe it's a she. It doesn't want anyone to relax around there, so it's always up and down, and if there's a hyena on top there, it will go on top there and trying to harass that hyena so that it pays attention, and then it's just the naughtiest hyena I've ever seen. So PV, let's go to your next clip, brother. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sighting here. And what's so interesting, this live thing, you can just go to YouTube, and you can watch these live bush cameras live. So we have a pre-recorded, beautiful on 24th. Oh, things were happening on the 24th of December, eh? You can see everyone wanted to go next to a water hole or a dam to do something. It's either drinking or bathing or having a swim. So this is the champion here. You can see how it is it doing. So you can see, you can check the language. It doesn't just go there and have a drink. Look, it walked in and it's going out again, it's going in again, just around that thing, and it drinks. So what happens is, if wildebeest, when they're around the water holes, they don't care whether they've never seen a croc or a crocodile in there or around there. They just get to be careful all the time. So they're careful around the water holes because they know that there might be a predator, which is called a croc or crocodile, that will attack from the water. So what happens about its surrounding, whether there won't be maybe hyenas or lions or something hiding inside water, which is a croc. And then you can see that this is male. Babu, just pause it there, brother. Just pause it there. Pause. Just there. Go back a bit. Go forward a little bit more. Just there, Babu. Thank you so much. So if you can see this, this is a male wildebeest. So I know I've noticed that there's a belly button on the other part of its belly, but looking at the horns, if this particular wildebeest is standing within, like in the bushes, so you just see its face. So for you to identify that particular wildebeest, you have to look at its horns. So the horns of this wildebeest, you can see, but I can't really see, you can't really see the ears there. So you can see the ears, the edge of the ears, the horns, they don't turn at the edge of the ears. They turn after the edge, just right after the edge. So the females, their horns, they turn just right on top of the edge of the ears. So it's easy to identify it like that. And the males, what they do is they spend time on their own. They don't really need females unless it's mating season, and then unless there's a youngster there or a lamb. So what happens is they'll stick around females, but most of the time they just love like being on their own, and that makes them very vulnerable. But what happens is, there's a trick. What they do is, when they are on their own, they set up a small little territory, and then they walk amongst zebras, or they walk amongst impala heads. So what they do is, there's a lot of eyes for it. It knows that if impalas they see something, definitely they will let it know. And what happens sometimes when it's just one wildebeest just surrounded by impalas, sometimes predators, they might be like, I'll go for an impala because there's less work, there's less effort, less energy. So going for a bigger prey, it might cause a lot of energy. So sometimes that's what goes inside a wildebeest mind. But I've seen a wildebeest being hunted and killed by lions instead of them going for an impala. Oh, I'm getting hot, brother. Can see it's on the 31st tomorrow. We need to swim. Let's see what's happening on the 25th. Yes, look what's happening on the 25th. On the 25th, something really interesting. This is called the monitor lizard. Some people call it water monitor, and some people they prefer to call it Nile monitor because it prefers to be around water holes or just around water. And what a beauty! Look at this walk. It walks like there's swagger in there. And this time of the year, you will see, if you're lucky, you will see the females digging. So they dig not on any ground, not any area. They utilize active termite mounds. So what happens is they know that the temperature in there is regulated by these individuals who are termites, and then they will dig a hole, most especially after rain. So they will meet, and then they'll have eggs. They'll go and dig. They'll dig, and then they will lay eggs in there, and then they'll try to close to cover it, and then that will incubate their eggs, and then they can lay up to 60 eggs. And what happens is they can stay there between 6 and 9 months before they hatch. Oh, got some cramp. Whoa. Yeah, so it's so interesting that they are not like crocs that they're going to sit and keep guard of their eggs. These ones, they let a termite mound does its job. So and then when those youngsters they are born, and then they'll start feeding on these small little things, and then definitely they will get to be these vicious predators. And what happens, what's so interesting is that these Nile monitors, they can grow from tip of their mouth to the tip of their tail. It can be as long as 200 centimeters. That's very long, That's very long. So it can grow up to 2 meters. And yeah, Babu. Last clip, brother. But let's go to a last recorded one, and then we'll go for those live ones because I'm not really satisfied. So this happened just after midnight. Whoa! Look what we've got on the 28th. A gerbil. So it's great that it's not in the house. So this is a bushveld gerbil. It's a lawful gerbil or bushveld gerbil. That's what the people call it. But I just call it a gerbil. So what happens there? You can see it's nighttime, and people mostly from the villages and townships. This is a place I grew up in. So they don't really understand. I don't think they fully understand animal behavior or like differences between a nocturnal species and a diurnal species. That's what comes into my mind when I see something like this, like a rodent, because they kill owls most of the time. They believe that owls are bad omen or bad luck, and they don't understand that owls, they hunt mostly at night because that's their special meal. So seeing a gerbil during the day, it's very rare around here, but you might say it if maybe it's disturbed by thing, or maybe it wants to go to this little area that is a little bit safe. So I get some questions sometimes when I'm home, we leave, and then people get to ask questions. Maybe my friends get to ask questions. Khaya, why an owl has to fly at night, brother? Why doesn't it fly during the day? I tell them that it flies during the day, but it doesn't really need to fly because it's prey species. It's mostly active at night. So at night it's very quiet. They listen, because owls they hunt mostly using their ears. They listen, then they fly. So, and it's very quiet. So owls are supposed to be as quiet as possible when they going for these are questions I get to be asked, that why is it flying silently at night, and their calls are very bad, their eyes, this kind of like they don't really understand that. But yeah, slowly but surely people will really understand and start to respect owls, because one particular owl, for example, if you can check the rose eagle owl, or a giant eagle owl, or a barn owl, they can take about up to between 50 and 100 rats or rodents a year. And then if you can have like at least 20 owls in a small area, then definitely you will definitely reduce the number of rodents, and you don't need to pop out money or take out money to buy things or poison to kill rats. And I think having an owl or having owls, it's much better to have poison, because you might poison a rat or a rodent, then it eats, it dies, and then your cat feeds on that rodent, then your cat will die definitely. It's bad. Yes, let's go to live cams and get to see. I strongly believe that before the end of the show, I might see something. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's good I can. There's nothing. You can see greener grasses. And it's still a bit wet. And you can see the sun is still going down. It's beautiful. It's top view, I mean. Go to Kwenga. Get to see what's happening in Kwenga. Kwenga, nothing really. But definitely this area here, or this particular waterhole, it does pump. Just wait for the sun to go a little bit down. Animals will be coming through. It's Cape Town, still quiet. Yeah. Animals are away from things, eh? They're just having some New Year's Eve's fever. So they came to just right outside the camp. Yes. Last but not least, the only camera that has something active today. The hyena thing. Beautiful. I wish I can drive show and drive there and get to sit with them. But yeah, you know, animals, they just need to have their own time, not with the vehicle next to them. That's why drives they happen at a certain time of the day, maybe sometimes, mostly 2 times a day, in the morning and afternoon or evening drive. And then we let the camera or technology work. Open to suggestion. Thank you so much. But I don't have a lot of people joining me, but it's so interesting having like up to 27 people and up to 30 people to 40 people. I strongly believe that you might find out I have 27 people watching with the rest of the family. It can be this one person watching, but the whole family is watching. Find out that maybe 4 or 5 people are watching each from each screen. To get my point. So I'm really grateful to have such a show. I'm really grateful for Painteddog TV to give me a platform to have such a show. I strongly believe that this coming week, and it will be a new year, I'll be bringing some things and an extra flavor into the show, because since it started, it was all about live cams, but I just want to bring something a little bit different, and it has to be as unique as possible all the time. And yes, before I forget, the blanket. Thank you so much. This is called the umbhalo or unokhethwabo. It's our Ndebele blanket. It's worn by males and females, the youngsters, old people, like everyone has to wait, but you have to wait perfectly. So the stripes or the lines, these colorful lines, they have to be vertically. They don't have to be horizontally, because you'll be in trouble, or I'll be in trouble. Beautiful people, this is the last show of the year. It looks as if the next show next year is very far, but it's in 7 days time. In 7 days time it will be my show again. And tomorrow I'm driving. I'm having a private virtual safari tomorrow morning. That's 4:45, 15 minutes before 5 in the morning. And please, as Brenty mentioned last week on Animal Way Life, that the special would be going maybe for a week or two in January, in New Year. The special is still there. Please book your seats and book your safari, and also get to enjoy other Painteddog TV shows, Animal World Live, Life Beach Camps Chat with Khaya, and our drives. And people who are joining the drive, they will definitely tell you that those drives are awesome. We're seeing all sorts of things around here. And please buy your ticket, please. And because I won't see you all tomorrow, but tomorrow I think there's something happening, but I'm still in pipeline. I'm not sure how far is Bavu with planning. And when Bavu is finished with his plans, or with his planning, we'll definitely share a link, and then we get to see what we do before midnight. I know in some other places like Australia, it will be like New Year's already. In some other places it will be like still New Year's Eve, but tomorrow midnight we're planning to be doing something. Yeah, it will be something I think very special, and please join. Don't forget to join. Just join Painteddog TV and subscribe, and to hit that bell there, so you get the notifications whenever a safari or a show goes live. Thank you so much for joining. I know you left whatever you were supposed to be doing at the time and watch my show. And if it's nighttime, have a great night. If it's time for you to go to work, travel safe, spend time with your family, and have a great time, and keep safe, great health, and great wealth. And I wish you all the best in life for 2022. And yeah, I really appreciate you from my first episode to the 12th episode. Beautiful. Really appreciate you for joining, and your questions, your comments, your updates, your curators. Thank you so much to make sure that I get those live pre-recorded videos or in our archives. Thank you so much to do that, because without you this would be so difficult. And thank you, curators. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And thank you, Tulani, for being just behind the camera. And thank you, Bavu FC, and thank you, VM, for keeping it running. And thank you for the positive spirit of the Painteddog team, the Painteddog TV. Such a positive spirit on here. And yeah, next year sounds very fine. Thank you so much, and have a great night, have a great evening, have a great day, have a great morning, have a great time, and enjoy as much as possible, and keep safe. Khaya loves you. Oh.